Welcome to News from Down Home, where I'm going to discuss article from the Marylander and Herald, which was the paper of record at Princess Anne, Maryland, where I spent my time as a young child. And we'll talk about something that happened then on June 1st, 1915, in that edition, and also about a notable house in Princess Anne. Now, my family moved there from Western Pennsylvania in 1903, and I have a lot of relatives in the Somerset County area. There's a lot of old history, a lot of great history there. And although many of the houses, the historical houses, are run down and not being kept up, and it's a sad thing. But in June 1st, 1915, the Maryland Herald reported the commencement exercises at Somerset County high schools. Now, they call the Washington High School, which I attended in junior high, they call it the Washington Academy, which is, I thought, very interesting. I was never aware of that. So it talks about the closing exercises of the Washington Academy at Princess Anne began last Tuesday evening with the following Class Day program. Now, this is under the heading of Washington High School. So it does make the editorial comment the exercises were of the most agreeable character. And it talks about an individual, Miss Lano, who was requested to tell the fortunes of the members, performed her duties with wonderful skill, and she was warmly applauded. Thought that was odd. Don't you think that's kind of strange, having somebody telling people's fortunes? And at a high school commencement, an amusing little comedy entitled Whiskers followed the regular class exercises, and all the parts were well rendered. And they received money for that. They raised $77. The commencement took place on Wednesday evening, and I'll just go over briefly the program. The invocation was Reverend Henry E. Spears. The salutatory was the modern attitude toward tuberculosis. Miss Ola Gladys Deaver sang a solo. Mrs. David Neal, the Old Home Prize of Washington High School. Mr. James Thomas Taylor sang a solo. Miss Irene Taylor, addressed to the graduates, was entitled The Price of Prowess. Dr. A.E. Turner, Assistant Director, Chautauqua Association, gave a solo. Mrs. David Neal distributed diplomas. Superintendent William H. DeShield gave the valedictoria. The Restlessness of the Age. Oh, I'm sorry. That was given by Miss Lola Virginia Pusey. So I thought that was very interesting. And they even make the editorial comment, the commencement is said to have been the best the school ever had. And the auditorium had been enlarged. So it had the principal seated on the stage, Mr. H.T. Rule, Reverend Henry E. Spears, Dr. E. Turner, Superintendent William H. DeShiel, and the members of the graduating class. The new scenery and display of flowers added much to the attractiveness of the occasion. So that's the commencement. They'll talk about Chrisfield High School as well, but we won't go into that since I wasn't I didn't attend that. So in any event, let's go to the walking tour of Princess Anne. Now I don't have a picture of this house, and I'm wondering about a previous entry in this a walking tour of Princess Anne, Maryland. Look up America series, but this is called um, the General George Handy House. Remember, we had a Handy House before of a colonial era, a Revolutionary War veteran, but this is at 11695 Somerset Avenue. Now, this is on the Maryland Register of Historic Places, and the book here, the General George Handy House, carries an unusual degree of architectural and historical significance in Princess Anne. Built around 1845, this townhouse was initially only one room deep and covered by a hip roof. During the third quarter of the 19th century, the main house was extensively reworked with a rebuilding of the roof and remodeling the first floor interior. Despite the extensive Victorian alterations, the house retains large portions of its late Federal woodwork on the second floor and in the rear service wing. Thus, the house displays fine examples of craftsmanship from the two major stylistic periods found in Princess Anne. Now, the Maryland Historical Archives also say this. It carries an unusual degree of architectural and historical significance in Princess Anne. It was built by George Handy around 1845, and it talks about how they obviously copied from the Maryland Historical Archives. So it does say here, despite the extensive Victorian alterations, the house retains large portions of its late Federal period woodwork on the second floor and in the service wing. So it's really an important architectural house based on the way it was, what it looks like, and what it represents of the time. And it's next to the Boxwood Gardens. I hope that if you're in Princess Anne, that you'll get the chance to go by it. I don't know if anybody lives there. If they do, they're certainly not taking care of it, and it sure is a shame because um, it's a part of the historical importance of Princess Anne, Maryland. And I thank you for watching News from Down Home today.